Yo, what's good people? It's JayCactus, and in today's video, I want to make a Japanese influenced drill beat. So I'm going to use some classic sounds like a Koto, maybe some vocals too, and just see what I can come up with. So let's get into it. Alright, so as I said, I want to use some classic Japanese sounds, so definitely a Koto. The Koto I'm using is from Contact, and I'm just going to start by laying in some chords. So I'll start with the F sharp minor chord. Maybe start higher up. And then from F sharp, maybe D. And maybe make it a little bit repetitive at the start. And then you can switch up for the second half. Yeah, I want that kind of rhythm, so it's going to be like. Yeah, that kind of melody. So I'm just going to copy this and switch up for the second half and then come up with a counter melody. So I'll get rid of these two. Yeah, that can work for now. Now I want some filler notes. Maybe further down. Yeah, like that. Now I can just put in some basic like bass notes. I'm just following the root notes of the chords. Alright, changes here. Maybe another counter melody. So I can just put in some short notes here. Maybe bring these two higher up as the chords change. Yeah, it's sounding alright so far. So I'm just gonna randomize the velocity here. So it's a bit more natural. And then Alt and S just to strum it. Now it sounds a bit more realistic. And now for some extra notes. What I'm going to do is highlight this and press Alt and U to chop it like I do with hi-hats. I'm going to chop some of the notes up, but maybe have the velocity rising. Yeah. Maybe one more. I think I want to stretch this bass note out too, and then maybe chop this up even further. And it's definitely sounding a bit too dry, so I've just put on a little delay and some reverb too. Just to give it an environment. And now I'm just going to add in a bass Koto, just to give it another underlayer. But maybe switch up the pattern a tiny bit. Maybe come back up then. Alright, now I want to try find some vocals, so I'm thinking to look through Splice and see if I can find some like Japanese singing or just some Asian influence singing. All right, so I found some vocals that were in C minor. So I'm gonna pitch it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600. So it can get to F sharp minor. And I'm also gonna set this, it's on stretch. So now when I stretch it back, it's not gonna change the pitch again. I've turned the volume down a bit as well, so let's see how this sounds. I think I could chop this up though. And it needs some reverb, and it needs to be pushed more towards the background. So I've just added some reverb, some distortion, and the EQ to act as a filter. Halftime sounds sick. Maybe I could use it on 1 bar for an intro, and then it can gradually come up to a quarter. All right, let's put in some snares. Just gonna copy that. I want to make this hi-hat a little bit shorter. Alright, so I've got my hi-hats and my snare in just to get a bounce going. I'm going to try to think of an 808 pattern, get some slides in there, and then see what else I can come up with. Alright, so I've put in my 8-weight pattern, added some slides. I'll probably make another pattern further down the line when I start arranging it, but for now I've got this. So I'm just following the root notes of the chords and then adding the slide notes in where the chords are too. Alright, now I'm thinking I want some perks in there, just get more of a bounce going, and then I can start thinking about other instruments and get those vocals back in, which I might chop up. Now I found this sample in the arcade that I want to chop up, so I'm just going to record this in. And then I can just quantize quantize this, set it to line, and then it should take time. Alright, so I've pretty much got all the elements that I need, so I'm going to mix it, arrange it properly, and then I'll show you the outcome. Alright, so I've finished mixing and arranging the beat, so I'm just going to play it and then talk you through what I've done. And mainly for automation, I've used halftime, and you'll see how it sounds. It's basically just changing the settings when it gets to this point.
JayCactus.
So just to quickly show you what I've done for the drop, I've just added a filter right before the drop, and halftime you can see it gradually comes out. So for the first section of halftime, I just had it on 1 bar, I think. Yeah, and then for the second part, it's just on 1/4. And then I used Filter Freak for the filter drop. And then the only other thing that I added was my tag and then this gong sound. So I thought that would be more Asian style rather than just using a standard crash like I usually do. And then for the 808s, I have switched up the pattern quite a few times, but mainly I've only just taken some notes out, so it's not the same pattern all the way through.
JayCactus.
And then when it gets to the second part of the hook, you can see the arcade comes in, and then the vocals that are chopped up. And just at the end of the hook, you can see halftime gradually comes back in. Gong as well. So for this part here, the vocals, what I did was chop it up, and then I made it unique, and then I reversed it. So the vocals right here, these are actually reversed. And then same with this bit, reversed again. So I added a filter just before the drop, just so that rappers can easily tell when the chorus is about to come in. So you can see that all the drums kind of come out apart from the 808, the vocal's still in there, and then the gong comes in again. So these are just little clear signals that the hook is about to come. So I've just kept it as a 12-bar verse for this one. And then obviously halftime's off, like 4 for the instruments. Just repeats like it did for the first verse. I've also changed the kick pattern, so whenever I change the 808 pattern, I change the kick pattern as well, just so it matches. And then for the outro, I've just got the hook, and then I've just kept it kind of simple. Just left the filter on, and it fades out. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope you were feeling the beat. I've got a 10K special video coming out real soon where I collab with a sick producer, so I'm excited to drop that one. Hopefully I can get to 10K soon though, so if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'm also working on a bunch of new kits, so I've got a sick drum kit coming out and a loop kit as well. So when they're ready, I'm probably going to host a lot of competitions for you all to enter for free. So I'm thinking I can create a sample, everyone can flip it, and then there'll be some sick prizes for the winners. So keep a lookout for them, and I'll see you next time.